States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. All call to order. All board members are present. And then I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I move we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Where's Chief? What you got?
Crazy month again, 38 runs, 27 EMS and 11 fire runs last month. And so it was a busy month for us again. We applied for a grant through the Revenue Sharing Board, and we were notified this week that we received that grant. We put in a grant for some three Swiftwater rescue suits, and some more updated ropes equipment. And so, we will be getting that. And then, otherwise everything is good. Everything is clicking along. Next week we're gonna do some, seems though the ice is just getting good. We're gonna go out and do some real ice water rescue training instead of on 6 inches of ice. And so we'll be doing ice water rescue training next week at Crystal Lake.
How many
next
inches are
Tuesday.
on there so far?
I don't know. We'll find that out Tuesday. And so, but otherwise everything is good. So.
Can I thank you for safe delivery of Santa
Oh,
over the weekend?
yeah, that was quite a ride with Santa. He's quite a hoot in a truck.
He's used to a sleigh.
All right, assessors, basically, we just had board review for errors and omissions tonight. Tax bills have went out, so everybody can be happy about that. You're looking at vacant land, about 3.2% increase plus 5% on all your other properties, because that is statewide. It is maxed at 5% because it goes up the rate of inflation, which inflation is close to 9% right now, so it is maxed at 9%, or at 5%, so that is a good thing that it was maxed at that, but everybody's taxes will see an increase of about 5% this year. So, custodian, Tim, Scott.
Yeah, well, after the meeting, I think last month, and right after, I thought winter was gonna be crazy because of all the snow plowing. But then it's gone. I figured my piles were gonna have to get moved, but they're melted finally, so. Did a few repairs on the snow plow earlier before the season started, so that's all good to go. Furnaces at the township here and the fire station were looked at, a couple of things at the fire station. And here, one was looked at because it was making a little bit of noise, but the other thing that's gonna get done, I don't think he got to it today, but the stacks on the roof, they're not long enough. One of them is getting water down into the drain or into the vent, so it's getting into the furnace. The other ones might have they're a special vent that takes air, and furnace guy knows what the heck he's talking about, but, one of them is missing, and I don't think that one's ever been there, and the other ones might have got broke possibly by the roof, which is gonna happen. So he's got those ordered, and is gonna come replace those. Service on those, is that something that we can just have them scheduled twice a year? Springtime for sure, just to make sure the AC units are, not running on half of what they're supposed to have. And
Say, now that we got our gutters or our roof done, we should look in the gutters sometime too.
that's
Especially
another
for the
thing
back.
that I forgot to add to my list, but if we find somebody that can do, I would recommend doing seamless
Seamless.
gutter from one end to the other.
Yeah. Well, now the roof's done, we can.
Back here, yeah.
Well, you know, if you're gonna do seamless, might as well just do the whole thing.
We can get a estimate from,
Yeah, just,
a couple different seamless gutter companies, there's a couple around, I know there's one out of Cadillac, and there's one, I think out of Bear Lake.
Yeah.
We can try to call and get some estimates. They probably got time this time of year.
And if you want, if you wanna throw me some names and numbers, and I'm sure Jack, I think I've seen his head nodding, he probably knows. I'm sure he knows a few, so.
Okay,
And,
yeah, I'll try to get those to you.
The, well, since that's next, but the transfer station has been going good. The, one thing, I don't remember if it got brought up once, but if we print off the punch cards that they get in with their tax thing every, winter taxes, and they get those?
Yes.
Yep.
Can we have it printed so they got like the times on those? And we have to come up with, like, if we do the winter months, November through April, and just have, I just get a lot of people, I'm sure some of them might be newer people that just say, hey, when is that open? What's the times? And I thought, is that something that we can have printed on that?
I'll have to check with the printer in Manistee, see if he can do it, I guess, on the back.
And the back is all open, so,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, excuse me, so maybe like, aren't there a bunch in the drawer, so could we just put stickers on them?
Well, they've already
The
run
new
out
ones,
for
yeah,
this
the
year.
other ones though.
Yeah, they've been out, so like I said, we're gonna have to order more for next year, so I'd have to see if they could put it on the back.
Yeah, so for 2024, maybe that's
Right.
something we can,
Okay.
but anyhow. And then I just wanted to thank the ones that do help at the transfer station with the card punching and the stuff, especially this time of the year. I keep their LP tanks filled, so they at least got heat. But, otherwise, between the ones, Punch Card and Joey, and that's about it.
Management Council, I read Val's report, we're busy, been a little bit busier. Something that we have to look into is we had a little snafu with tonight, moving the meeting to a Wednesday, which we are looking at possibly doing for, January.
I would say somewhere.
We have to make sure we let
Just in
karate
case.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's something going on.
That'll do that, yep. All right, Parks and Rec, got anything? No, we're done. Okay, snow.
Not really.
We're working on hopefully get the docks in early in the spring. Okay. All right, planning, Jay, you got anything like that?
Yeah, so we decided we are going to switch our time starting in 2023. So we're gonna go the third Tuesday of every month. And our meeting days or months for 2023 are gonna be April, May, June, August, September, October. And in April, we're gonna start with, going through the master plan. And, kinda making it where you can understand it. And there's a lot of that we could do in-house and then have it read over once it's done. But we wanna start including like graphs and stuff with it, so it's like user-friendly
Gotcha.
and not a bore where you can just fall asleep and no reading it.
Excuse me, what time is that, the planning commission?
6. So that's.
Third Tuesday, 6 P.M.
Maybe we'll have another board member for you tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Zoning, I did not see a report from Bob. Did you read either one? You get one? Okay. We're working on, we have a hearing on Tuesday that we'll be going to. Besides that, building permits applications are pretty slow right now. Planning permits, I should say, so. All right, anybody sign up on that want to talk? Public communication. Oh, Heather Stapley, Amanda Mobley.
To bring visual aids
Nice.
does help. Heather and I are helping students at Brethren High School fundraise for Eastern Europe trip, so to do some educational travel. And paint nights are a thing that a lot of people do and they like to do. So the reason we're here tonight is we've done a couple at the Brethren Hall, and we'd like to do one here at the Wellston Hall. But the hall rental for a Saturday is $200, which will cut into our fundraising efforts a little bit. Now, we do recognize that you hire a custodian to clean the area, and so we don't want to say for free. What we'd like to propose is that we pay what would be a normal during the week rent, which is $30 for 4 hours. On Saturday the 21st, the day we're proposing to do this, well, we're planning to do this, we have lots of parents planning to help, chili cook-off, a bake sale, a craft sale. What else are we doing?
Then the paint night, we're gonna have a take and make craft, where you can come in, make your own craft, take it home. All of the kids that are signed up to go are going to be here at work. They are gonna be making the chili.
Yeah.
So you would buy a ticket, taste, best chili will have a prize. So this is the kids doing this, and all money goes 100% into the kids' funds. So there's no profit being made. So when we have to pay to come, I will say that Brethren allowed us to be there for free. It was free Saturday night. All night we were able to use everything they had. We cleaned up. Yes, we cleaned up.
I just thought, because this was such a much bigger event, that
Yes.
just in case, and we'd be
We
using
would-
the
yep.
bathrooms and stuff, that it would be
So we
fair.
can have it, like we're saying, everything is 100% into the kids' funds. So there's no profit being made. So if we have to pay to use a place, that cuts into their funds. For a child to go to Europe, it's about $4,700 per kid. We have how many people going?
24 kids, four adults, 5 adults, and
So it's a large chunk that we're trying to raise, so parents aren't paying.
Do we have that date free?
Oh, before I came, I checked with Val, and yes, that date is free, and she's already reserved it for us, because I wouldn't do all this flyer work so we're planning on doing it. We're just hoping that we could get the hall for a reduced rate, or, even as my partner said, for free.
I believe, what was not last year, year before, I believe you guys, the school used the hall for the dance, and there was no issues with that. So I don't,
For the prom?
yeah, so I really don't see an issue in letting them use the building.
I don't.
May I ask a question? So we have, a policy for food vendors and that at Crystal Lake, and is there nothing for the township? Where, you know, the one at Crystal Lake is $100 and then a percentage potentially.
Well, that's a private business. This isn't this is a
Right.
fundraiser. This is a nonprofit.
Okay, so
fundraiser,
like nonprofit, okay.
Yeah, this would be this would be like a
Just
church
trying to
user or
clarify,
something.
yeah,
no.
no, I'm all for it. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Well, does anybody, it's up to you all, I'm not gonna say anything, of course, but does anybody have a do they wanna charge, or do we wanna let them use the hall for free, or what all would you like to decide to do?
I say we just let them use it,
For free?
yeah, because it's for the kids, so.
Second it, for voting.
I mean, I think it's just an okay, we just approve it this way.
Right.
It's up to you, does anybody have any objections to it?
No, as long as we're any other nonprofit,
You got it.
stick with it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, all right, any other public, anybody else, anybody? No? Okay, okay, so we have one unfinished business, and talking with a few people. Jeff, did Star join did Ms. Daniels join the fire department too, or no? Okay, so we have a new fire department member, and, Star Daniels, am I not seeing her? Oh, right there, sorry, right in front of me, okay, sorry. But speaking with her, we work together at the school, loves our community, loves our lake, loves what our community's about, very common sense person, and I think would work well with the members of our planning commission, so I would like to nominate her for the empty seat to finish out Mr. Kent's term. So, because she would be finishing the term, I gotta find the date of when his term would be up, and then,
Maybe 3 years
yeah, but he's
from October.
from October, so we'd have to reappoint her in October, so. But it would be finishing out his term, and then You don't, no, we don't take anybody off the planning commission. Anybody willing to do it, you stay as long as you want. Okay? So,
What's that?
That's October 2023.
I believe that Jason has that number
We
right. I can check
just-
with Bob and make
Yeah,
sure.
well, it'd be
Alright.
3 years from this October.
Yeah.
So 2022 to whatever.
I'll check with Bob and find out when.
Yeah,
Greg's-
yeah.
Super fun, yeah.
But just for her, I need a motion if somebody, I'll make a motion that Star Daniels, fills out the term as a new appointed member to the planning commission.
I'll second it.
Did you kind of get that? Real quick. So
Yeah,
Jordan
motion
second.
Mobley, Scarra second.
Second. Yep.
Okay,
All in favor?
yeah. Aye.
Opposed? Nope, willing to, thank you very much. Yeah.
Congratulations.
And thank you for joining our fire department too. We really appreciate that.
Thank you.
When we get members, that's wonderful, thank you. Okay, new business. I want to get this gentleman out of here. I'll let him introduce himself. Manatee County Drain Commissioner. We have an issue with the Mud Lake Drain, which I personally didn't even know we had.
I'm Gary Schweiger, and I've been on the commissioner now almost 4 years. And, but the Mud Lake Drain came up a couple of years ago by the Forest Service. And they said, well, it's not really a drain, it's more of a mud ditch. So, anyway, there's nothing, I do have a handout, let me hand this out.
Thank you.
Kind of an introduction here of what I'm looking at here.
Sir. Oh. This actually holds water?
Well, I even have more if you need it.
An exercise ball? What is that?
Something in there.
Wow.
I don't even know where Mud Lake
I
is.
don't know what to.
Well, there is a plaque
Yeah, I see it here.
in there.
Yeah,
There's a drain.
look at that.
Oh, okay, so it's back, okay,
Where is it?
Off 9 Mile.
down that way.
No.
Oh,
It's
on
down
the
off
back.
of Udell Hills Road.
Yeah, I know.
East Udell Hills. And this drain was established back in 1931.
31?
And the last time any work was done on it was 1932.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so it's probably not
90
working
years,
well.
there's nothing
Oh,
been
there
done
it is,
there.
page 2. Yeah, there it is.
The information I sent here, I wrote out here, there's a cost though to abandoning this drain
I saw
and
that.
taken on by the townships. I have a local attorney that I use, and his fee is anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000.
Can you explain the analysis on why we would pay to do that?
Why would you pay to have it
Right.
abandoned?
Yeah,
Someone has to pay for it. It's gotta go through, it has to be advertised, it has to be a public hearing on it, and it has to be posted too.
so the county commission, drain commission does not bear that cost?
I don't have that, that's not in my budget.
Can we just?
And
It's not ours.
So say, why doesn't the Forest Service?
It's not ours.
They pay for it.
Well, it's usually the township pays for it, and that's what I've done in the last, I've closed out 3 drains already, abandoned. The reason I'm looking at this drain in particular is that, again, nothing has been done to this drain. I've got some photos in here showing what the drain looks like, where it's located. It has not, what happened back when a lot of these drains were established, some of them were established back 1906. And they were established due to the logging that took place. They denuded the land, and when you start getting rains without force on them, that water runs off. I don't know if you knew, I was back probably 15, 20 years ago, around Gun Lake, that's down by free soil. There was a big logging thing that happened around the lake, and that winter, that fall and that winter, the lake flooded. A mature tree can drink as much as 200 gallons of water a day. which is a lot of water. But see, what happened too, this was, a lot of this was forest land, and then that was denuded. Now that stuff is growing up again. So you're getting more trees growing. We have another analysis here.
Those 100-year floods.
So this drain hasn't been worked on since, what, 1937?
1932,
1932?
yes.
It's just been sitting there vacant since 1932, when
So what do we?
What's the advantage of taking it out now?
Well, the advantage is that someone else could come in behind me, become drain commissioner, and try to open all these up.
And Gary, if I might add, and part of that with a new drain commissioner or anyone after Gary is that even though the township would absorb the cost of closing, and I'm Katie Mall, by the way, I work for the county planning department, one of the planners there. If the township doesn't move to close it now, a new drain commissioner could come in at some point in the future and say, you know what, I actually do see a need for this drain culvert, and the property owners, they can levy the taxes from the property owners to, you know, have to pay for that. So closing it is really just ensuring that, you know, we have a very nice and ethical, great drain commissioner here. Not to say that someone coming in later wouldn't be, but, you know, they have a lot of authority to just say, you know what, we're actually going to completely improve this drain, and the property owners are gonna have to pay for it, so.
Were you able, excuse me, were you able to identify how many property owners would be affected if we were to maintain?
I do have that information, I don't have it with me right now. But yes,
The majority of the landholder is the US Forestry, correct?
yes, you see my letter there.
I thought, yeah, it's in,
Yeah.
I was reading some of it.
So they'd absorb the brunt of the cost.
Well, they have concern about it too, because, that does impact their land too. But now, with the vegetation growing, that's absorbing a lot of the water. At a 200 gallons per day absorption rate is equal to 2.47 days of absorption of 1 inch of total rainfall per day. Now, that with 1/4 inch of rain, it would be 0.62 days of absorption. 100 gallons per day of absorption per tree, 4.94 days. And with 1 inch of rain, and 100 gallons per day absorption per tree is equal to 1.24 days with 1/4 inch of rain. So, but that's just the vegetation absorbing the water, but there's also the ground infiltrating. The water going into the ground itself. And there's a lot of sandy soils out there. There is some clay mixed in too.
And if there was a need seen in the future to reinstall some type of culvert, that authority would lie with the township to, you know, reopen something like that. But leaving the drain open leaves it within the authority of whoever the drain commissioner is. And like Gary indicated, this one hasn't been worked on since 1932. But if a future drain commissioner sees a need to improve it, they would have full authority to say, you know what, this is the assessment of this, and you know, we're gonna improve it for this cost. Granted, we know that the Forest Service owns a lot of that land, but yeah, that's kind of in a nutshell what you would be controlling with closing the drain.
This way also, again, if you wanted it to be opened again, it could be in the future.
And we bear
But
that
see,
cost.
I'm a county employee, and this is in the township itself. And I want the township to have control of this. Why should I don't live here in Norman Township, I live in Manistee Township. You know what's happening here in Norman Township. You need to have control of that.
But most drains are held by counties and assessed
Yes,
to property
they
owners
are.
for maintenance.
Right, they are.
So why is Manistee County abandoning?
I'm trying,
just this
yeah,
one?
I'm a fiscal conservative. I want the individual townships to handle what they have. Why should I be dictating to you what should be done? And I can do that. I don't need the permission
Right.
to leave this open or to close it, but I would like to have your permission.
And if it falls back in our hands, then it becomes our responsibility, should we need to reopen it and maintain it, and all the brunt of the cost falls on the township at that point.
It would, yeah, that would be your responsibility, or you could open the drain up again, or the drain commissioner could take it over. But there was a drain that was the kettle hole drain, you probably read about that in the newspaper a few years back. There was over $100,000 spent just on attorney fees.
So the money, the $2,000 you're talking about is basically the attorney fees and the posting of it. The
Exactly.
posting of it,
Yeah. Mhm.
$2,000 to.
Yeah.
And so there's really no work gonna be done to the land.
Correct.
No, nothing.
Correct.
So any impact study in the last 32 years, that 100-year flood, anybody go out there and say, yeah, it really is?
There are pictures of water that are in that drain, it's a ditch, but I have been out there since April of last year to September, or October 7th of this year. And I've gotten photos, I got a whole photo history
Yeah, I
on
saw a
that.
lot of them.
I do have a photo history, and I could,
Right.
I could pass that out too, if you'd like that, to show. But the water has not actually run in that drain, it sits in it. It's like a catch basin,
Mhm.
and then it dissipates into the ground.
And the majority of it is
Right.
federal forest or national, whatever it was, so.
Yeah, it just,
I read at the end, it was like 200 acres is a private,
right,
it's privately owned,
yes,
and those
yeah,
are the
individual landowners.
taxpayers that would be
Correct.
affected.
Correct. And that's basically right along, East Udall Hills Road.
Right. Yeah, we trust you, Doug. I mean, I
Yeah.
trust you. I don't know.
Here, I can show you some more, would you like to see some more photos?
Does anybody wanna see?
Not really, not me.
Okay,
Sorry.
well, the only thing I was looking for from Norman Township would be a resolution that you would, support the abandonment and, be able to, pay up to $2,000 for the fee to do that.
Can you hold off till January, or
Oh, yes, yeah. Yeah, if you wanted to, look further into this, you're welcome to.
do you have a resolution that's customary that you use?
No, but all
We-
I
we
really
need to put
need
one
is
together.
that the township would agree to pay the fee to, abandon the drain.
I don't see any reason to do anything with it.
Yeah, I would like to have everybody have an opportunity to think about this, call you if if we have any questions to you that we can think about, and then
Sure.
we can kind of decide on this next month then.
Sure.
Okay?
My card
Appreciate
here.
it. Thank you. That was very thorough. Thank you.
And I do have more data though if you need.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yep. Okay, item number 2, we need to approve, it does not go transfer directly from one clerk to the next, so we need to, approve, Ms. Montgomery to be our FOIA coordinator.
I make that motion.
I'll second. Thanks, guys.
All in favor?
Opposed? Okay, none. All right, so item number 3. Basically, the board already kind of did this because, this is approving an increase in the budget for the deputy clerk for training. We currently did not have a deputy clerk that had any training with what had happened, which was probably not a great idea in case there was an illness with the clerk, that the deputy clerk could step in and the township keeps running. So the board basically, in a phone poll, just so that they could get started, because the office had changed between meetings. So we just make it official. I'm gonna make a motion to approve a budget of $14 per hour for the deputy clerk for training purposes of 160 total hours.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Hi.
Aye. Opposed? None. Okay.
Thank you. And I would like to introduce my deputy clerk, Karen Vatno,
Okay.
here in the audience.
All right, okay. Okay, so, we have to approve the, Manistee County Contractual Services Agreement. This is something we do every year. Manistee County, they basically prepare our taxes, every year. They do so. And what this year, I believe it was $4.22 last year. For the preparation for the winter taxes, it is now $4.43 per parcel. And then the summer, agreement is $1 per parcel. So a total of $5.43, and they print and get all our tax bills ready for everybody. So I need a motion to
I'll make a motion
accept
to
those.
approve the Mansfield contractual service agreement for
Yep.
summer and winter tax preparation.
Yep, summer $1 and winter is $4.43. Okay? All right, all approved, or all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, I'll sign those and we'll
Thank
get our copy and then mail copy away. And then that's the envelope.
Oh,
We'll keep
okay.
with it. All right, so. And we pretty much have to do that. We can't prepare the taxes and the amount of stuff that has to go into it, so the county does that for us. Okay. Okay, so this is we did this a couple years ago, and I thought it was an MSU extension, but it may not have been. Basically what this is Joanne was contacted by MSU Extension. They're gonna offer some classes. They want use of our hall to offer classes about healthy eating, healthy nutrition. And then any person that attends, when they do the series, they can earn up to $100 credits for fruits and vegetables. So they get like a free food voucher out of that. So basically they just, once again, they wanna be able to offer that free activity and service to our community, and they would like to, and the surrounding communities, and they'd like to offer that or have use of our township hall. Do you remember how many nights it was? Was it?
It was 6 sessions, 6 consecutive weeks, and they wanted to start in February?
Yeah. So, but once again, it's something that's good for the community. We've done it before. Does anybody have an objection to this whatsoever? Okay. So I'll make a motion that we, go ahead.
Does anyone know what times they want it, what days?
Well, she's
No,
gonna have
It's
to,
gonna have to coordinate with Val.
Okay.
yeah, she's gonna have to call Val.
Okay.
We'll basically give
Yeah.
their number to Val, and then they'll have to, it's, Caitlin, Lauren, is that it? I'm probably saying her name wrong. But yeah, there's a contact, and then we'll give Val's contact to her, and then they can work out what dates work for them.
It says right on there, Caitlin.
Caitlin.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No, so we're good there. Okay. Okay, now we have to, like every year, and I gave these all to you. The first page will be, this is what it'll look like. Okay, so we'll just go through it page by page. This will be the cover sheet of our poverty guidelines. I had Merrill remove all the 2022 poverty guidelines from the desk because we already had some people that came and got them. So this will be the asset test, what they have to do. This is our resolution, the next 3 pages, and it talks of the new federal guidelines for poverty exemptions. You know, so much per 1 person, so much for 2, so forth and so on. It goes to 8 people, and then there's an additional anybody over that lives in the household. Then so we need to approve that. And then in this packet, because the packet you have is how the packet will look, and they should have everything they need. It basically has what they need to fill out, and then it has their ownership affidavit of the property. So this would be what the whole packet looks like. We're not approving the whole packet. This is coming from Great Lakes Tax Assessing. This is how they're doing it now. They will also, once we approve this in January, anybody that had a poverty exemption last year will automatically get mailed one. Okay, so a couple people that Merrill said, hey, came in and picked one up for next year, they're gonna have to redo it because the guidelines have to be what the federal government gives us. We got them actually early this year. Usually we do this in January, but the guidelines came out a little earlier than normal, so we can approve it. So I need a motion to,
So
and
those-
this is by resolution, so.
Sorry, so those who pick them up, we don't even know who they are, so we don't have any way to say, hey, you picked that up, but don't fill it out, cause you gotta do this one?
Yes. Great Lakes will be sending them out to them if they had them last year, and if we get them,
Right.
then they probably will not happen at March Board of Review. I will have to go out and get them to fill out another one, and then we'll do them at Arizona Missions in July and stuff, so, yeah. So it is by resolution. Do you have, this is the only resolution we have for December, right? So we can call this resolution number,
We're not having another meeting, are we?
so this would, so the,
2022-12-1.
you got it? So you have the resolution number?
Yep. it's on there.
Okay, oh, I'm sorry. So,
I make the motion to approve resolution
okay,
2022-12-1, the 2023 federal poverty guidelines.
I will, second that, and resolutions we have to do by roll call vote, so if you'd like to do the roll call.
Trustees, is it Skira?
Yep. Yeah.
Carol, Treasurer,
Yes.
Ty, Avery, they're all of them.
Yes.
Supervisor Mobley and trustee Braden.
Yes.
And I'm an aye. Motion
Yeah.
carries.
Okay.
I'm an aye.
All right, so that's done. Once I sign this, then I will make 20 copies before I leave tonight, put them in the desk drawer, and we'll have them. So,
Or I can make them tomorrow.
or you can make them tomorrow, so that would be wonderful, thank you. I'd like to get
There's a lot of stuff.
Yep, okay. Okay, so, once again, the January 10th meeting on Tuesday, we need to move to the 11th of January. Does anybody have a problem in doing so? Basketball screwed up this year. We're playing on Tuesdays. I am not in town that week. So if you wouldn't mind moving it to Wednesday, does anybody have any comments on that?
No, but we'll let karate know.
Yeah, we'll let karate know this time, yes.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, that's right. Okay.
So I make a motion that we move the January 10th meeting, regular board meeting, to January 11th.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No. Okay, I gotta make a motion that we go in closed session to talk about a couple employee issues. And I just need somebody.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We might be a little bit, so we'll be back if you'd like to stay. Okay.
We'll see how the weather is tomorrow. I think we're supposed to get all this. No. Question.
You're saying, aren't you? Yeah, you might know.
Do they,